Ted Cruz has been a leading critic against this deal, and he even took some heat with some of those folks behind him, not all of them, but some who said that this deal was better than no deal. Senator, I heard a little bit about what you had told at least one protester, that this deal is not better than no deal. Explain.
Well, in my view, this Iranian nuclear deal is a catastrophic deal. I'm here in Lafayette Park with a number of protesters who are standing with the American people to stop this catastrophic deal. Concerned Women of America put this on. And three consequences will flow from this deal if it goes through. Number one, if this deal goes through, over $100 billion will flow to Iran. They will pass it on to Hamas, to Hezbollah, to the Houthis. Without exaggeration, the Obama administration, President Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, will become the leading global financiers of radical Islamic terrorism in the world. That money will be used to murder Americans, to murder Israelis, to murder Europeans. That makes no sense. Number two, the second thing we know that will happen is 4 hostages are languishing in Iran. Pastor Saeed Abedini, Amir Hekmati, Jason Rezi, and Robert Levinson. You know, the last president to leave our hostages languishing in Iran was Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama is demonstrating the same weakness and we're lifting sanctions on General Soleimani, the head of the Al-Quds forces responsible for murdering hundreds, if not thousands, of U.S. servicemen, and yet we're leaving a Christian pastor, a Marine, American citizens, a reporter to languish in Iranian hellholes. But the third and most consequential, the most consequential result of this deal, if it goes through, is that it will only accelerate Iran's acquiring a nuclear weapon. And the Ayatollah Khamenei is a radical religious zealot who has pledged death to America. The odds are unacceptably high if Iran acquires a nuclear weapon. They would use that nuclear weapon in the skies of Tel Aviv or New York or Los Angeles.
All right. Now, a lot else going on today, too, and I don't know where this vote goes ultimately in the Senate, where they get to that 60 votes, Senator, but I do know there's a separate fiery storm building up over this Planned Parenthood issue. Now, Nancy Pelosi was saying that there's no scandal. I want you to react to this. Nancy Pelosi.
Everybody's calling for an investigation of Planned Parenthood. Let's have an investigation of those people who were trying to ensnare Planned Parenthood in a controversy that doesn't exist.
What did you think of that?
You know, I would say that I think every American should watch the videos of Planned Parenthood. Just watch them. See senior officials of Planned Parenthood laughing over sips of wine, bargaining over the sale of body parts of unborn children. One official was so callous and cavalier to say she hoped to sell enough body parts of unborn children to buy herself a Lamborghini. And I would encourage Americans just to ask yourself, are those my values? I appreciate Nancy Pelosi answering that question, that yes, those are her values apparently, that Nancy Pelosi watches those videos and she feels sorry for the Planned Parenthood leaders that are bargaining over selling body parts. I will tell you, in the course of those videos, both of those officials appear to confess to multiple felonies. It is a felony with 10-year jail time to sell the body parts of unborn children for profit, and both of them are doing that. There needs to be serious law enforcement investigations, impartial and fair, into whether these individuals and whether Planned Parenthood as a national entity has committed felonies. If the Department of Justice were remotely fair and impartial, if it were not an arm of the Democratic National Committee, it would already have opened an investigation. Thankfully, there are attorneys general and local DAs who are investigating. But what we should do now is we should cut off every penny of taxpayer funds. We should not be funding a criminal enterprise that is committing felonies, that is selling the body parts of unborn children. It's grotesque and sickening, and that we should all be able to agree on that.
All right. Now, they come back and say that taxpayers are not funding abortions. It's a distinction that they want to bring up. But you're right. It's a back and forth. But, Senator, I do want to get your thoughts on Donald Trump. He's going to the Mexico-Texas border a little bit later on, about half hour from now. We're told that the Border Patrol union that was supposed to be with him today has suddenly opted not to join him today. And it comes at a time when a lot of your colleagues also running for president are saying that Trump is overdoing it. Rick Perry, your fine former governor, was with me yesterday saying that Trump is a cancer on conservatism, that he's, to quote Marco Rubio, among those who is going too far and maybe at the expense of all of the Republicans sucking the oxygen out of the room. You've heard that analogy. It's not just to Mr. Rubio, but to others. Do you think that Trump is going too far?
Look, Donald Trump is a friend of mine. I like and respect Donald. He speaks in a colorful way. He speaks in a way that you and I don't speak. But I commend him for focusing the attention of the country on the problem of illegal immigration, on the problem of sanctuary cities, on the problem of the Obama administration releasing hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens with criminal convictions onto the streets.
All the other
that is an
candidates agree with you
incredibly important issue.
Senator, you're quiet. All those other candidates agree with you on that. They say that he's all but become a farce. You don't agree with that. Your criticisms have been at best tepid, and I wonder why.
No, with respect, Neil, they don't agree with me on that. Most of the other candidates running have been vocal, aggressive advocates of amnesty. I've been leading the fight against amnesty.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I was talking about the reaction to
borders.
Donald Trump. I apologize for the confusion. You have not been as vocal on that.
And in fact, to the contrary. Many of the other Republican candidates have used this opportunity to take a stick and smack Donald Trump. I ain't going to do it. I believe in Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment. I'm not going to attack him personally or impugn his character.
Well, he doesn't believe that.
If others want to do that, that's their choice.
Well, say what you will of Donald Trump. I mean, he obviously doesn't share that Ronald Reagan commandment view. Now, he says, Senator, he says that he only responds in kind. If someone had said something nasty about him, he will respond in kind. But obviously that Reagan commandment's been violated here, right?
Well, I'll tell you, Neil, my view is not to respond in kind. Scripture teaches that if someone visits evil upon you, you should repay them in kindness, and that's like heaping coals on top of their head. So if others attack me, I respond by praising them. If others want to attack Donald Trump, they can do it. I ain't going to do it. I am going to sing the praises of every Republican candidate in this field, and I'm going to focus on the issues the American people care about, which is jobs and growth and opportunity, which is securing the border, protecting our national security, defending our constitutional rights, and restoring America's leadership in the world.
Senator Ted Cruz, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again.